Those of you guys that are joining on TikTok, can you let me know if my sound is working? Amazing Grace, thank you. Cool. So, I'm just jumping on YouTube now. YouTube sound check, please. If everybody is okay, if somebody can respond to me if YouTube is working. Hi, Morale. How you doing? All right, sounds working. Okay, let's go. One of the requests I got over last week when we finished the mathematical reasoning, what do you call it? The tutorial, someone asked me, can you actually do some parabolas looking at vertex and turning points and so on? So pretty much today we're going to slightly deviate a little bit and we're going to look at how to do parabolas. So, you know, kind of looking at parabolas and coming up with the equations for them. Donan, I'm not sure how that actually works because your schools might have different things that's required for each of your schools. So we're going to get started here, folks. Now, I'm kind of working on multiple screens here at the moment. So this graph is actually on my left screen, and then what I'm writing is on the right on my tablet. So I might actually go off screen. I do apologize if I do go down that way, but yeah, like hopefully we don't actually hopefully it doesn't actually happen. All right, so the first question that I have for you guys is oh, this is nice, I like this. So the first question is, I am going to be asking you to come up with the equation for this parabola here. Now, I'm not really telling you folks what you need it in. I am simply saying we just need the equation of the parabola. So we got a couple of things that we can do here. We don't actually have a turning point in this case. And we also don't have, what else don't we have? Yeah, so we don't have the turning point. We don't actually have the intercept form as well. So if you look at it, like the turning point is this right here. But because we don't actually have it, we can't actually use the vertex form. We can't use the intercept form because these points here, we don't exactly know what those points are. So we can't actually do intercept points, intercept version as well. So the only way you can do this is doing it the classic ax squared plus bx plus c. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chuck a quick bit of note here just to show you what the three different versions for parabola are. All right, so you've got the vertex form. Then you have the intercept form. And then you have, I just call this a general equation. Like this is the ax squared plus bx plus c. So just those three ones there. Now with the vertex form, you are actually looking at the turning point here. So whatever the turning point is. So let's say in this case it's something like AB, for example. No, not AB. I always go with H and V. For the intercept form, you're going to end up with something that looks like this, where this is x1 and x2. And then the third one, where you might just have a set of points. So you might just have like x and y, and you've got like a bunch of points to work with. And I think you need minimum 3 to do the parabolas. Dylan, no, I think mainly just covering parabola, and I know it comes quite a bit, so I just want to get rid of it today so that if anybody else wants to come back and look at this later, they can have a look at it. So just parabolas today. If you're good with parabolas, then yeah, I'll see you in the next session. So with the vertex form, what we're going to do is we're going to write it as y equals to a, and then we have x minus h squared plus v. So basically just understanding that this is what that vertex actually means. the vertex is pretty much the turning point of the parabola. And then if we look at the intercept form, you're going to get a x minus x1 and x minus x2. So this is where the intercepts end up being here. Now, yes, it does get posted on YouTube. It gets saved on YouTube, so you can always go and catch up there on YouTube later as well. We'll see. We'll do a couple of questions in parabolas, and if we're good to go, then I'd just ask YouTube what else you guys want to cover, and then we can actually cover that. All right, so let's go to this question that I just popped up here. Now, this is just a quick snapshot. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot or something like that. This one you can use the graphics calculator, or there's a manual way of doing it, and I'm going to show you folks both. And we'll actually go from there. SSH, my emulator, I've actually got a license from Casio, so yeah. Parallel line equations temptation, that's basically saying that the gradient is the same, but the y-intercept would be different. All right, so let's have a look at this particular graph here. So I'm going to bring this graph back, and basically in this particular graph, we can't actually do vertex. As I said to you before, we can't actually do vertex method. So if you have a look at it, let me just kind of zoom in a little bit out. Yeah, so we can't actually do vertex method for this particular question because we don't have the vertex. But let's say hypothetically we do get the vertex, which is that right there, which is negative 1.5 and negative 4.25. What you can do is we could actually work it out, and I'm going to kind of do it here just to show you guys. Because we have the vertex as negative 1.5 and negative 4.25, what we can do is we can rewrite this as y equals ax minus negative 1.5 squared minus 4.25. So simplifying this, we're going to get a bracket x plus 1.5 squared minus 4.25. Now we need to figure out the value of a, and the way we're going to figure out the value of a is we're going to have to find one of these points, and we need to actually substitute it. So in this case, I'm going to use the value 1, 2. So I'm going to use the value 1, 2, which means my y value is 2 and x is equal to 1. So it's 1 plus 1.5 squared minus 4.25. And then from here, if I was to rearrange, I am going to get 2 and plus 4.25 equals a times 2.5 squared. So basically, a is equal to 6.25, and then 2.5 squared. I am going to do that quickly in the calculator. Sorry guys, I haven't kept an eye on the chat. I'll come back and look at it very shortly. So 2.5 squared, that's going to be 6.25, and what I get here is a is equal to 6.25 divided by 6.25, and that's going to give me a is equal to 1. So my equation is equal to x plus 1.5 squared minus 4.25. So this is what I need to do if it's in vertex form, and I'm just going to put a bunch of line numbers here, and let me know if there's any questions. I'll come back to the chat and have a look, and then we'll go from there. Hey Ferrari, how you going? Love God, no, you're welcome. Chaotic Tiefling, bachelor's in mathematics, amazing, that's awesome. Good luck, Eden. No worries, S, you're welcome. Level 2 calc, blah blah blah. Anyone doing the CA on Friday? Randoms, yeah, this is level 1. How did I get to 4.25? So Talon, I got 4.25 because that was That was the y value here in the vertex. So that's the turning point right there. Vertex, I'm doing good, by the way. Yeah, so that's how I got that 4.25. So if they give you the vertex form, then you actually get the h and v. So Holly, all I'm saying is the h and the v is basically the vertex form there. So if you look at, oh no, I realize I'm pointing somewhere random because multiple screens. So if you look at this, so this part right here, the 1.5 and the negative 4.25, that is, I'm going to try and write it here because it's like multiple screens, as I said. No, yeah, there we go. So this is where the h and v comes from. It's that particular point. GovDucks, I do teach maths. I'm a maths teacher at Ormiston Junior College. Leo, which 6.25 are you talking about? Minty, no, I actually failed uni papers, so I don't go near there. Line 6. 2.5 squared. So from line 6 to line 7, I just went 2.5 squared. That gives me 6.25. Hey, Layla, welcome back. Right, let me know if, yeah, this is level 1 maths, Wendy. If you're good with that, I want to show you guys how to do the vertex form. Let's say if they actually don't give you, was it asking for the vertex form? Ivana, no, it wasn't asking for the vertex form. I just wanted to show you if they gave you the vertex form, this is what you would do. So the original graph actually had only these 3 points. And so if you are doing the graphics calculator method, I'm going to try and see if I can get that to work. So if you have a graphics calculator, then all you have to do is in the graphics calculator, you can just go into stat mode and just punch in your values here. So I'm just going to delete everything for starters. And I'm going to punch in the values, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then I've got 2, 8, and 16. And once I do this, I can just go to CSV, no, graph 1, calc, and x squared. And as you can see, that's going to give me my formula in x squared plus 3x minus 2. So this is the formula, this is the format when it's actually in general formula. So you can look at it, look at the vertex formula at the bottom there, but the graphics calculator just gives you another format. So what you have to be making sure is that when you look at these types of questions and they give it to you in your exams, you just got to double check that they're asking you which format they want the formula to be in, and then from there you should be able to do it. Also, there is a shortcut in the calculator to get to vertex form from this. So what you could do is you could actually click on draw. Actually not draw, go to, where is it? So you go into x squared and you see how there's a little copy button. You can click on copy and kind of press enter, and then that just writes over your graph function. So you can go down to your main menu, go to graphs, and you would see the original graph that it's copied from. Now if you click on draw, of course I'm going to get this. I always get this, I don't know why. Just going to get rid of that 1. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why it does that. Next, I'm just going to click on view window, change it to initial. And what you should see is the parabola there. But we want to find the vertex formula. So you can click on gsolve. And if you click minimum, that's going to give you your negative 1.5 and negative 4.25. So that basically gives you your vertex form. Does completing the square work? Absolutely, Derek. You can actually do completing the square from that as well. So from x squared plus 3x minus 2, you could go to completing the square. Now, let's say, hypothetically, oh no, I'm not going to do intercept method because I'm looking at those two intercepts and they look horrible. So we're not going to do that. Now, in the last, yeah, Max, I'm just about to get to your question, which is, how do we do this manually? So if you want to do this manually, what you need to do is this. So, sorry, I'm just setting up everything here. So first what you have to do is get the table. So I actually put down 1, 2, 3, and then my points are 2, 8, and 16. So what I do here is I have a look at how much these things are increasing by. So if you look at it, you've got plus 8 here, we've got plus 6 there, and if we were to go backwards in this pattern, we would probably get, so instead of, let's say I do this, I'm just going to give this a little gap here so you can kind of get the idea of what's happening. What I want to do is I want to figure out what the y value is when x equals to 0. And to do that, I look at these red numbers. They're actually going down by 2. So the red number will end up being plus 4. So you've got to think about it like this. What is this blue, like the blue question mark plus 4 equals to 2. So if you work backwards, you're going to get 2 minus 4, and you end up with negative 2. And what you should notice is when you have the negative 2, that's the y-intercept. So you can kind of see the y-intercept here written in the equation. Now we can figure out what the a value is. To figure out what the a value is, we look at the second difference. So that means we look at the difference between 6 and 4, that's 2. 6 and 8, that's also 2. So generally saying, to figure out the a value, oh, I just realized I lost my space there. So a value would actually be whatever the second difference is, and I might actually write that down here. So second difference divided by 2. So in this case, the second difference is plus 2, and that's divided by 2, so that's equal to 1. So what I've now figured out is that the a value is equal to 1, and we haven't actually written the 1 in front of the x squared. Now the last bit that we need to figure out is we need to figure out how to get the 3, but we have the equation so far. So we've got y equals to x squared plus bx minus 2. So here's where we substitute one of the points. So I'm going to take 1, 2, and I'm going to substitute it in here. So I'm going to get 2 is equal to 1 squared plus b times 1 minus 2. So I've got 2 equals 1 plus b minus 2. So I get 2 is equal to minus 1 plus b, and b is equal to positive 3. So then my equation is going to be equal to y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 2. So the b equals to 3. I've figured out that that's what this part here is going to be. So the manual way is a little bit more longer, obviously, because it is called a manual way after all. But it does give you kind of all the working that you need to do, and you can actually still pull it off. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll chuck up a couple of line numbers, so just so that you can ask me what's happening where. I'm going to put line 6, line 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So give me a yell out if you don't understand a particular line, and I'm happy to help you out. Tiddles, 1, 2. How did I get the 1, 2? I got the 1, 2 from the graph. Because if you look at it, one of the points that we actually have is 1, 2 right there on the graph. So that's the point that I used from the graph. If there's any other questions, let me know. How did you get the C value? Bunil Patel. To get the C value, that's line 2. What I did was I basically used... I need a pointer, man. Like, I need a pointer to do this. This is so annoying. Where am I? So to figure out the C value, what I did was I actually kind of went this way here. It's not going to make sense. Hang on, let me just get a different highlighter. I hope you guys can see it. So no, that you can't see it. It's kind of messed up color. What shall I use? Pink, blue, green, yellow. Okay, let's go yellow. Here we go. This is how I used these red numbers is what I used to figure out the C value, because I literally just kept going backwards. So I looked at the number of differences that I had, and I just kept going backwards, and that's pretty much how that would actually work out. Angle plane of a 3D shape, quick start. Probably need the questions before I can do that. But yeah, like Zach says, this is all different. This is all like every exam questions that they have different ones for mock exams. Layla, not today. This is more graphs. So I guess it's kind of works under calculus. Not sure, Matthew, which exam paper you're talking about. So I can't really tell. Nah, Henry, buy something nice for yourself. You'll be all right. Okay, look, what I'll do is I'm going to give you another parabola, and let me know what you guys want to do. You want to practice a quick vertex form? Because vertex form is nice and easy. Let's do a quick vertex form, and then after that, I'll give you guys a general form. So a vertex form, I am going to get rid of these points here. Whoa. What happened here? All right, so here is a question for you, but this is going to be in vertex form. Let me just try it. All right, so here are all of the points that you have. I'm only going to give you those 2 points there. And what I'm going to ask you folks to do is to try and do vertex form. So remember, for the vertex form, your general formula is y is equal to a x minus h squared plus v. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to try and do this question. Do it in vertex form first. So, because as you can see with this one, unless you kind of mirror the third point, you can't actually use the graphics calculator for this. Thanks, chat, for filling in all the questions. Are these... Ella Coulter, I've got no idea. I'm just kind of doing some practice questions to get you folks ready. So I have no idea what the questions are like. Oh, absolutely, Lucas. I agree. I couldn't agree more than you, mate. FIFA, these are basically achieved questions. I've got 1 more minute, and then I'll actually go through this question, folks. If you got all the excellence questions correct and didn't do the other questions, could you still get E8? Absolutely randoms. Highly risky, but it is definitely, I've seen people do it. But most of the time, those guys end up going back and doing a couple of the merit questions just to be on the safe side. Dennis, it's a great question. I think last year's exam paper, I was having a look at it, and what I figured was they actually said you need to show some sort of working. Yeah, I know it's only an achieved question, but it's a bit annoying that they decided not to have the straightforward graphics calculator answer, because nah, guys, honestly, like, look, I know the first time you do it, you feel like it's a bit nervous, but I'll tell you right now, once you do a couple of these practice ones, you'll be fine. Now, Holly, it doesn't actually tell you what questions the exams are. Well, Lucas, if you are smarter than me, then you probably know what level this already is. Why would you need it? All right, anyway, let's go through this one. So our point that we have is 2, -3. So the vertex is actually 2, -3. So if that's the case, then y is equal to a, x minus 2 squared minus 3. That's pretty much the starting point. All right, now the next part is I need to figure out what the I need to figure out what the a value is. To figure out the a value, I'm going to use the point 0, 5. So if I use the point 0, 5, then y is equal to 5. A 0 minus 2 squared minus 3. I'm going to get 5 is equal to a. -2 squared is equal to 4 minus 3. And then I've got 5 plus 3 equals 4a. So 8 is equal to 4a, and then a is equal to 8 divided by 4. So a is equal to 2. So the equation is going to be y is equal to 2, x minus 2 squared minus 3. Matthew, generally with achieved question, like I think you've got to get like 2 questions correct in each of the questions. So it's altogether they have 3 questions. And I think if you get 2 correct in each of them, you get achieved. But if you get 3 merit questions correct across the 3, like the big chunk of questions, then you actually end up getting a merit, which is why I spend a lot of time doing merit questions. Good luck, Q Sam. Nah, Charlie, I don't actually get the mock exams because, I only teach up to year 10 in my school. Nah, this is not a merit question, man. CC, depends on the question. Like if it's an excellence question and you do like decent working but you got the wrong answer, you can sometimes get like even a merit for it. So yeah, so don't stress too much about it. All right, what about you can use Angus, what you're looking at is a view window, but like by the way, if you do want to do this in the calculator, here's a little hack for it. Go into stat mode, and you know how you've only got like 2 points, so you've only got 0 and 2. You don't have the 3, 5, and then you've got -3, and that's basically it. Now remember that parabolas are actually symmetrical. If parabolas are symmetrical, if this point here is 0, 5, and if the line of symmetry is at 2, then this particular point here is going to be 4, 5. So you kind of just use a symmetrical line, and then line of symmetry, and then you figure out what the third point is. So in your calculator, what you can then do is go and put in 4 and 5. And no, I didn't do that. What am I doing? 4, 5, there we go. And then we can click on calc, graph 1, calculate an x squared. You're going to get this equation, which is y is equal to 2x squared minus 8x plus 5. So as you can see, that's the general equation. This one is the vertex form. You're welcome, TVG. Nah, Angus, I have access to nothing, my friend. Everything all the materials I get from is actually just either I use ChatGPT to create it, or just past exam papers. Oh, that's awesome, TVG. That's brilliant. All right, guys, let's go. Well, if you want to try an excellence question, I think might be too early to try it. Do you guys want to try an excellence question? I mean, if you understand this, I think you can try an excellence question. Yes, Avia, this will be on YouTube. I think on whatever I do on TikTok just gets saved on YouTube, so it'll be there. All right, fine. If you want to do an excellence question, shall I throw you in the deep end or kind of in the middle? Shallow end. All right. So, by the way, let me just have a quick little break here, just to kind of say, if you're just kind of joining in TikTok and also on YouTube for the first time, if you do need to go and do some revision and you've got no idea where to start from, you could do the exam walkthroughs, and I think I've kind of saved it here, the old walkthroughs. But if you find like, oh, I need more help in algebra, this stuff is actually quite good. But also the other one that's really quite handy is these things here. So if you go further down, there's a bunch of playlists for revision stuff, and feel free to go through them, and that should kind of help you get started at least. All right. All right, so let's actually try a crazy one then. Fine. I'll actually draw it up for you guys so you can kind of see what to do. But what if they give you a question like this? And they say, write equation in vertex form. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to show my previous working there so that you guys can kind of see what I tried to do in the previous one and use that as a guide. So that's the vertex form right there. Sorry, I'm going to throw you in the deep end and give it a go. I mean, like, look, what's the worst that could happen? You make a mistake, you learn from it, right? Vacuum cleaner, yes, this is relevant to the 1.5 mocks. FIFA, you've got a big formula sheet that they give you, but I'm not sure if they give you the, if they are giving you, what do you call it? The parabola equations. That's the only thing I don't remember. They give you all the formulas for the geometry and things like that, but let me just double check, all right? Formula resource booklet. So this is pretty much the formula sheet you guys get. So you get all of this, you get all of this, that's it. No, so you don't get anything to do with parabolas. So that stuff you've got to remember by yourself. Ella NZ, you're trying to write the equation of this parabola in vertex form. No. Look. Here's again, if you find the vertex form, you find it that you forgot it, just go to your graphics calculator. It has it pre-stored in it. because you can just go to this thing called Connects. If you click on it, so there's your vertex form written right there. So that's the only difference is I use a V instead of K. The calculator uses K. Neon, I thought you could do it in the calculator, but what happened was in the last exam, they basically said that you have to show working, which was kind of what it was. You got K equals to 3. I don't know how you got K equals to 3. I thought it was just going to be an equation. All right, I'm going to do this question just to show you guys, all right? So if you look at the example on the left-hand side, that's just with numbers, right? So that was with a parabola. Where was my parabola? My parabola looked like this, and that was 2, -3. Then I had a point somewhere there, which was 0, 5. Now, in this case, I'm going to write the equation down. So y is equal to a x minus h squared plus v. Now, if you look at the h in this case is k, and the v in this case is -3. So I can write this as y is equal to a x minus k squared plus, -3 -3. So the next thing I could do from here is, that's the starting point. I need to figure out what the a value is. I use this point here, which is this pink point, and the pink point is actually 0k. So I've got k equals to a 0 minus k squared -3. So then k is equal to a. I got 0 minus k is just -k. -k squared is just k squared -3. And then I rearrange this. I get k plus 3 equals ak squared. And then a is written by itself. So k plus 3 over k squared. So the equation for this graph is going to be k plus 3 over k squared, because that's the a value, times x minus k squared -3. So remember that this is the a value. This whole thing is the a value, and that's going to go in the front there. So what I'll do, as usual, I'll put up some line numbers. Let me know if you have any questions on the line numbers. Nah, Pia Naga, I told you they're not that bad, because once you get the basic ones, they look hard, but this question generally tends to be like an easy merit or an excellence question. Max, remember that it's actually k squared, because 0 minus k, when you take -k and you square it, you're going to get negative. So you're going to end up getting k squared. Yeah, Dennis, I did have a look at that. I had a look at the answer schedule for that question you're talking about. When I had a look at the answer, they said that there's got to be some evidence, and I'm like, well, if you put it in a graphics calculator, how are you supposed to get evidence for this? Ralph, you cannot do general form for this, because for general form you need the values, like, because if you have it from the table, like you look at the differences between the y values, and then you try and figure it out. In this case, you actually can't do that. So that's why we have to stick with either Vertex or Intercept format. How did I go from line 2 to 4? So Tiddles, if you look at line 3, that's where the pink y-intercept is. So y-intercept is at k. That means the point 0k is the point I'm going to substitute. And I think I know why you're having that problem. Because remember that this is the x value. Oh, shucks, I shouldn't use this color at all. It's a terrible color. This is the x value and this is the y value. So x ends up going here. Sorry, not there. X ends up going here, and then the y value ends up going there. So I'm using the point from line 3 to substitute it into the equation. Yeah, sorry. There we go. That's better. Sorry, TikTok people. Like, if you're watching on a small screen, yeah, you can't see that. Apologies. Now, by the way, yeah, vacuum cleaner is actually correct. I know he's having a laugh, but if you know how to do this in this particular format, you're pretty much sorted for anything to do with vertex form, because there's only one more thing I can make it harder. I don't know if you guys want to try it. After that, if you know how to do this, then there's nothing else for me to teach you with parabolas. So the reason I used k as both x and y values tittles was because that's how the question actually was given. Like, I made that question like that. So for example, imagine it like this. If this was 5 and this was 5, you would still do the same thing. But except in this case, we don't have a 5. We actually have a k. Let me know if you want to do another one of these crazy questions in vertex form, and we can go from there. But instead of k this time, I'll throw in different letters. I don't know who just said hi, but hi to you too. Now YFC, this is level 1. All right. Oh, Sal, how you doing, mate? All right, let's do one more. So I will leave the working again on the side there for you guys to kind of follow. So write in vertex form again. All right, this time I'm just going to mess around with you. Let's go with, we're going to go with 3 and P, and then we're going to give this as R. Round of Ram, I don't know, how do I put this? I start the live streams in about week 7 or 8 of week 7 of term 3, and I do this every night, five nights a week, Sunday to Thursday, all the way leading up to the exams. Neon tetrafish, which other parabola are you talking about, Neon? Because I think if you once you understand this, you're pretty much good to go for vertex form. And I'm literally giving you the hardest vertex form that they could ask you. Dennis, no, I don't, because my school, I teach at a junior college, man. I only teach up to year 10. So because of that, I don't have access to any of the questions. Nice, Shan. How'd it go? You're not very far from where I'm at. Oh, you did it this year. Nice. Gus, I mean, I'm telling you, Gus, I had a few people to kind of reach out to me and said that the Corec was actually quite easy. Why are you doing level 1 and level 2? What? Jazz, get to the probability level 2 playlist. Trust me, you're gonna be fine by the end of the year. Well, Gus, guess what? When I do the giveaways, come and put your name down, grab a t-shirt, and hopefully, you get some good luck there. All right, I'm going to go through this question, folks. So I'm telling you, by the end of this session, you're going to be feeling very confident with these parabola questions. So vertex form, I'm just going to dump this right like this. A, x minus 3 squared plus p, because that is what my h value is. Oh, no, hang on. I got the wrong colors. We got to go yellow. So the 3 is going to be your h value. Your p is going to be your v value. That's your base starter. Now, we need to figure out what the a value is. Now, to figure out the a value, we've got to do the find another point. And the only other point we have is the pink point here, which is this. But remember, the pink point is actually r, 0. So r, 0. Basically, that means when x is equal to r, y is equal to 0. So with that in mind, we're going to go 0 is equal to a r minus 3 squared plus p. Now, what's going to happen here is, in this case, we've got 0 on the other side. So if I take p to the other side, it becomes minus p. And we're going to get a r minus 3 squared. Now, no point expanding this r minus 3 squared. We're just going to leave it as it is. So what we're going to get is a is equal to negative p divided by r minus 3 squared. And guess what, people? We're done, because our equation is y is equal to minus p r minus 3 squared times x minus 3 squared plus p. And that's pretty much it for this question. So we can literally finish it in like 4 or 5 lines. Well, 6 lines. So I'm going to pause there. Let me know if you have any questions and we'll go from there. But I'll try and answer some questions here. Jazz, no. Level 2, or maybe level 3 probability concepts maybe. But I think level 2 does normal distribution a lot. Y equals a x minus 3. Yeah, Pia Naga, you got halfway there. Oh, you did 0r. Yeah, that's all right, mate. Like, look, that's how you learn from these mistakes, right? Why, when the point was k, you put the coordinate k0? No, I didn't put k0. So, Dennis, great. Was it Dennis, or I'm trying to think who asked that question? Max, you asked that question. So when in the previous question with k was on the y-axis. That means k is the y value. And if you look at any points here, so if I say this is equal to 4, then this would be written as 0, 4. If like, let's say if this was 1, then this would be written as 1, 0. So it's along the x-axis and along the y-axis. Now, if you look at k was in the y-axis. Meryl, this would be an excellence question, hands down. Yeah, so PR Naga, if you had actually done 0r instead of r0, what you would have got is probably a merit, as long as you're able to show all of your working. No, that's what I mean, Maral. Like, now, if you guys look at the original question for parabola, you'd actually find it way easy, because it's just the numbers are right there. Like, look, I'll actually prove it to you, because if I show a question like this, you guys have done it with like hard letters. But if I just say, hey, find me vertex equation for this question here, where this is equal to 1, negative 4, for example. Try it out. You'll see how fast you can actually do this in. And let's say this is like 7. you'll do it fast now because you've actually done the harder versions real quickly. Ralph, you don't need to expand it because when you write equations for parabola, you can actually just leave it like that. It's no different whether you expand it or leave it in the quadratic formula. Try this question 3 here. I'll tell you right now, you guys will finish it in like less than a minute. Ryan Flood, 100%. It gets posted on YouTube. So if you jump on YouTube right now, it's live and then it gets saved on YouTube. The only thing is I need to set up a playlist, which I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on, not 10,000 subscribers, what is it? 10,000 followers on TikTok so I can set up playlists. So we got a long way to go. Oh, Dennis, you don't have to, man. Thank you, but you don't have to. Let me know if you guys got the answer for number 3. Come on, you guys should have done this real quickly. I mean, if you got the excellence one, this achieved one would be so easy right now. See you later, Dennis. Have a good one. Come back on Sunday just to see when I'll do level 1 maths next week, yeah? Will do, Galila, will do. But on TikTok, it takes a bit longer to create the playlist. But on YouTube right now, everything is set up like, so you guys can go in there and then that's, actually this is, yeah, all the resources are there. All right, I'm going to go through this question here, this quick vertex question. So what we're going to do is we've got y is equal to a, x minus 1 squared minus 4. And then just substitute, we've got the 7. So hopefully PR Naga, you got it right this time because that's 7. That means we use the point 7, 0. So we're going to get 0 is equal to a, 7 minus 1 squared minus 4. Rearrange it. We've got positive 4 here equals a times 6 squared. 4 is equal to a times 36. So a is equal to 4 over 36. Now you can actually leave your answer like this. You can actually say 4 over 36 multiplied by x minus 1 squared minus 4. And that's pretty much it for vertex form right there. I mean, you guys got it. Now, the rules are pretty much the same for intercept form as well. So for intercept form, would the third one be a merit? Hansi? No, the third one would still be an achieved because you can actually do that on the graphics calculator as well. I don't think that would be a merit. I think anytime you see letters in a parabola, like where they don't give you points, but they give you letters, those tend to be like excellence questions or borderline merit excellence questions. This question number 3 was just a quick achieved one just to show you guys. And I'll do the intercept one as well. While we're at it, we might as well do the intercept one. The only difference between the vertex and the intercept one is the formula itself. So let's say your graph looks like this. That right there is, let's say 4. Whoa. Let's say that's minus 3. And then this one is, I don't know, negative 2. Why don't you try this one? And remember that the vertex form looks like this. Y is equal to a, x minus x1, x minus x2. Try it out and then I'll go through it and you guys will see how easy it is. Randoms, yes, you can actually put it as 1 over 9 as well. Why the a? I don't know what your name is. You're asking me why the a question mark. Don't we just do a equals number? Just trying to figure out where you're asking me that question. Just let me know the line number and then I can help you out. Galila, I think you're looking at I think, to be honest, guys, I'll always say this to people every time level 1s, the year 11s come and say, oh, how many questions do I need? You got to aim for merit. The reason why you got to aim for merit is if you get 3 merit questions correct across the board, you'll walk away with a merit. Sometimes you actually get 5 achieved questions correct and you still only get an achieved. So really, I would encourage you guys strongly to start looking at merit and excellence questions, because what it does is it actually teaches you how to do the achieved questions as well. So don't just do the achieved questions and be like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this test. Rutherford? No, I've not been to Rutherford. All right, let's have a quick look at this one, all right? And if you're good with it, then we'll stop there. If not, I'll give another one. It's just x1 is -3, x2 is 4. Okay. Now, Naga, I'll show you how to do this one, all right? I see that generally Quickster, they tend to keep C and D as merit and excellence, generally. All right, so here we've got x minus -3, x minus 4, because my -3 is one of the values there for x1, and 4 is my value for x2. So what I've got is my equation is y is equal to a x plus 3 x minus 4. Now I think it was Max that was saying, now if you look at that -2, the -2 that's right there where the pink line is, that point is actually written as 0, -2. So I'm going to take 0, -2 here, and -2 is equal to a 0 plus 3, 0 minus 4. I've got -2 is equal to a multiplied by -12, and then a is equal to -2 divided by -12, which is 1/6. So my equation is y is equal to 1/6 x plus 3 and x minus 4. Again, line numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let me know how'd you go, and if you have any questions, we can ask. So if I answer all the excellence questions on the exam, do I get excellence? Yes, even if you miss out on the achieved questions. So I don't know how many ones you've got in your name, but I don't know all the maths papers off by heart. It's just, you know, you kind of do it for a while and you kind of just make up questions along the way. As way easier than calculus is algebra and geometry. I guess you can kind of call it comes under algebra, I guess. What's up, Chiefs? I saw you were quite active this morning in the chat. These are just easy questions meant to trip us up. No, I think it's more to build you up for the excellence questions. I'm sure I saw Up the Chiefs NZ pop up a few times on my comment section on the channel. Oh, I don't know what your name is. I can't say your name, but I think every school has a different policy. So okay. Instead of a merit question, let me just think. Oh, that's the general equation, as in y equals to a whatever times. That's like the, even if you look in the calculator there, wherever my calculator is, there you go. That's the parabola formula there. That's x minus. So there's always that a value that's given there. Yeah, there you go. All right, we will do one last question. I'm just trying to think of a question. Okay, we're going to do this question here. It's going to be an ugly question, all right? I'm letting you know straight away. What are we going to do? We do the Which question should we do? Which question? Do you want to do the bridge question or the volleyball question? Volleyball question. Now you've got to remember the parabola equations, Kalila. They do give like the measurement stuff, but not the not the parabola equations. All right, so let's try this question here, and I'm just gonna kind of keep it simple here. So we've got a person that is, I don't know, his hand is throwing a ball. That's a terrible hand. Oh my God. Okay, there is, and let's put his feet. Okay, he's gonna throw a ball, and the height, so 1.8 meters. So let's say it's about what's that? My height, 1.8. I can reach about 2.2. Let's go 2.3 meters. And there's a net. All right, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna throw it. But unfortunately, it starts coming like this. And let's just say from here to here is, I don't know, let's go 2 meters. Maximum height of 4 meters. And then the net is about 1 meter away. And the net height is 3.5 meters. That's a terrible diagram, Subhash. 3.5 meters for the net. Is the ball going to clear the net? So let's just say the ball path is a parabola, right? So I'm just going to kind of chuck it up there. So what you guys can actually do is, no, you don't have to use sin, cos, and tan. No way, because you got to look at the ball path. So we're going to be doing parabola. But my suggestion to you is you've got to come up with the points. You know, in the previous question, I actually gave you guys the points. So if you look at the last question, I gave you the points. So what you need to do in this question is figure out how you want to set up the points and actually go from there. If you want, I'll give you a little clue. The clue is this: use the green line as your x-axis, and then use the blue line as your y-axis. Don't think that's going to work. There you go. So use the blue line as the y-axis and use the green line as the x-axis. And then see if you can try and work it out. Yeah. So you have to remember 3.5 is the height of the net. So ignore that. Use the 2.3. Cole, it's 1.4. Ignore the 3.5 because you're trying to figure out whether the ball is actually going to go past the 3.5. The only important value that you have is the 2.3. So if you were to look at it in a graph picture, I'm just going to take this real world kind of context question and I'm going to draw it as a graph. This is where the guy is standing. This point is going to be minus 2.3. This is the path's highest point, which is at 4. So this point here is going to be 0, 4. And I also forgot to tell you one other thing. this is where the vertex is. So that's where the maximum point it reaches. So that's the vertex right there. Changed settings. Where the hell is it? More chattings. Oh. Grace, I'm not sure, but I know that these types of questions come in level 2 as well, so it's something that's actually worth having in the background. But anyway, look, let me go through this question now. Like, we've got the point, we've got the parabola shape, because the parabola shape is kind of doing something like this. Definitely an excellence question, Lauren, because the whole context questions like this would be an excellence question. So for achieved, you're probably just going to come up with the graph. So if I look at just the graph here, I am going to get y is equal to a. My vertex is at 0, 4. So this is going to be x minus 0 squared plus 4. Ooh, I don't know why you did 0. Max, you can do that as well. That's absolutely fine. You can do 0, 2.3, and 2 and 4. It doesn't matter which way you do it, Max. You can actually do it that way. But let's see if we get the same answer, all right? Let's just have a look. So I'm going to get y is equal to a, x squared plus 4. I need to figure out what the a value is. To figure out the a value, I'm going to substitute negative 2 and 2.3. So 2.3 is equal to a, negative 2 squared plus 4. Rearranging this, I'm going to get 2.3 minus 4 is equal to a times 4. So I've got negative 1.7 equals 4a, and a is equal to negative 1.7 divided by 4. And Max, I think that's pretty much what you got, negative 1.7 over 4. And as you can see, Max, your equation, because you started with x minus 3, I think it should be x minus 2, Max, not x minus 3 squared. I think that's the only mistake you got in your equation there. It should be x minus 2. So now we've got the equation. Our equation is y is equal to negative 1.74 x squared plus 4. I use different for. Oh, sorry, Max, that's my bad. Yeah, I should have actually specified that. But hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to do here, because now we've got the equation. We want to know, because if you look at the net is at 1 and 3.5. Now what we want to know is this net going to be above the ball path or below the ball path? So is it going to clear the ball or is it not going to clear? So the way we're going to do that is, if we substitute x equals to 1 in this equation, if we get y bigger than 3.5, then that means the ball is actually going above the net. If it's less than 3.5, the ball is not going to clear the net. So all we have to do is just substitute 1 in here. So we got y is equal to negative 1.7 over 4 times 1 squared plus 4. So literally, I'm just going to put this in the calculator. So go into main menu, go to 1, and I've got negative 1.7 divided by 4 times 1, that's just that, plus 4. It actually gives me 3.575. That basically means the net is going to be somewhere at 3.5 and the ball is going to be at 3.575. So you can actually say, yes, the ball actually clears the net because it's above 3.5. What's the 0 for? Sorry, I'm just looking at the questions now. X minus 0. That's the vertex form, because remember, the vertex is at 0, 4. Sorry, I can't actually see your name, but yeah, thank you, Emma. Emma Hank got it. So it's the vertex form. Pia Naga, I think I'll come back on Sunday, and you'll have a look at when I'm doing my live streams again for the following week. Srinithya, I reckon you probably, if you get like 2 full, safe one is 2 excellence and a 6-pointer from merit. So 2 excellence would get you 16 points, and then an M6 or an M5 would get you 21, 22 points. That's like guaranteed excellence. Sorry, Dominic. So the H is y-axis. No. The H is x-axis point, and the, I'm trying to look at a K. I don't know where you got the K equals x-axis. Oh, you're looking at your calculator one? If you're looking at your calculator one, yes, then H is x-axis and K is y-axis. It's the y coordinate. Galila, go check out my friend Mr. Weebly. He's amazing in physics. Quickster, no man, I'm done for the night because I've actually got to do I've got to clear a bunch of emails, and I've got quite a bit of work that I need to catch up on now. Schoolwork, my actual schoolwork. Why don't you substitute -1? Where do you get the -1 from? Oh, why don't you do substitute -1? Mr. Weebly, he's not on, I don't know if he's on TikTok, but he's definitely on, oh, damn it, I typed the wrong one. Weebly. He's definitely on YouTube, and he's got a ton of resources for physics. Oliver, I think level 3 complex is on Thursday. Ralph, what I'll do is I'll chuck up some line numbers, then you can ask me what's happening, eh? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No worries, Dominic. I'm just curious, is this just coming in to learn randomly, or are you actually sitting test or exam, Dominic? No. It's on the positive. No, because it's actually x squared, right? The formula is x squared. So because it's x squared, I just substitute x as it is. So just x equals to 1. What you guys are thinking about is if you were to write it in vertex form, then you would write the negative stuff. Kevin, yeah, this whole thing is based on parabolas, this whole tutorial. So where are you guys from, PR Naga? Like, and how, which school are you guys from? Oh, right. I understand, Dominic. Yeah. Look, if you want a quick bit of revision, Dominic, I would say go check out the walkthroughs on YouTube, because particularly this playlist here, I know it's only got 2 videos, but I'm gonna write a paper for you guys with full worked answers and an exam paper, so I can actually give it to you. A parallel one, I can't be stuffed creating brand new questions, because I know we'll always stuff it up. Rosal, PR Naga, I was there like at the start of this year. I came for a quick visit and had a chat with the year 13s. Level 3 differentiation, Oliver, I did it last week, but I'll come back again to it. But closer to the exam, we'll do more, mate. So... Galila, yep, because if you get like, I'll show you what I mean by 91947. Hang on, let me just find it. So if you look at the schedule, like you see, if you get one merit question, you actually get five points. And if you look at each, so if you get like a merit correct in the second question, and then you get another merit in the first question, that actually you only get 3 questions correct, which are all merit, you get 15 points. And if you get 15 points, you actually end up with achieved with merit. So that's why I say aim for merit and excellence questions, because you can actually easily get those grades. Hi Avnish, how you doing? It's good to hear, Naga. That's awesome. All right, team. Look, that's pretty much it for today. To level 1 maths, again, I think it'll be like earlier next week. But we'll do this right through the holidays. So, you know, like we'll just explore one topic probably with level 1 maths. And we actually go through each thing. So let me know what you guys want to do for next one. And I'll put a note here so that when I jump on next time, I can actually just go straight up. I'll do that topic. Because the last time someone asked me to do parabolas. So that's why we were doing parabolas. So is there any particular topic that you guys want to do next time? And then I'll... ACTs. Wait, Dominic, where are you based at? Are you based in New Zealand or are you from somewhere else? Study garden, if you got if you get 18 points, that would be merit. Yeah, so that'll still be merit. Middle East, which part? Like Dubai, Dominic? Or which part of the Middle East? I reckon we could do some trig. Trig, or even we can also do some measurement, like some of those harder. Like look, honestly, to be honest, the measurement questions, I reckon you guys should nail it, because it's pretty insane to actually kind of get through that. Man, I've been to Jordan. I love Jordan. Okay, Dominic, I've got to ask this question, and yeah, we're from New Zealand, right? But Jordan, I got to ask this question. There is this dish that I tried in Jordan, and for the life of me, I thought I'd actually written in my, because I did a blog, travel blog, when I did that, and there's this dish that I tried in this restaurant, and for the life of me, I cannot find the name of it. But it's basically like this eggplant dish. You've got eggplants and you've got a bit of lamb mince, and it's cooked with tomatoes. And I think it's got like, I think it's not fate. It's like bread. No, definitely it's got eggplants and lamb mince. But for the life of me, I can't remember the name of that dish, and I've been looking for it for so long. So if you could do me a favor and just tell me a couple of dish names, I'll go look it up and see if I can actually figure it out. Yeah. It's definitely with rice. Patterns and stuff. Yes, Kassan, I went to Dubai earlier this year. I've been to it a couple of times. Okay, so we're doing... I'm not sure exactly what that means. Makluba! Yes! I think it is. Hang on, let me just check if it's Makluba. Because I remember my tour guide basically said... Makluba, come on. Passenger, no, hang on. Yeah, I think this is... Dude, you are a legend. You are an absolute legend, Dominic. Now, I don't think it was cooked tomato. I think this is the dish. Makluba. because it was the one food I forgot to take photo of when I was traveling. It definitely looks like makluba. No, hang on, is it? Does it have? No, but hang on, it does. It doesn't have cooked tomato. It has eggplant, but it looks like it. It could be it. Now I'm confused. Yeah, rice, lamb, and eggplant. That's the one. Is that makluba? Rose mini. I was supposed to, but I think it's like something happened. Sudan should unshoe. I don't know. Okay, if it is, I'm gonna look it up, man. I gotta find the recipe. But Dominic, appreciate you popping by. By the way, jump on YouTube when you get a chance, and I do every last Thursday. I do a giveaway for T-shirts, but unfortunately, it's not open for international. But for you, I will open it up, and if you do win it, I'm happy to send it to all the way to Jordan and Infinity Plus One T-shirt. Citizen, come on, you know binge watching doesn't work. You've got to do the work right from the beginning. But it's crack up how you guys, like, I've seen so many photos and videos of people like just watching on their devices just before they go into the exams. No, I found makluba. So tips for integration, Riley, learn differentiation. Where is this? But honestly, Riley, I reckon don't forget the plus C. That's the one that people always mess up in. Learn kinematics because it always comes. And one other thing for integration I'm going to say is you got to learn how to do Newton's Newton's law of cooling and differential equations, because that is one of the most easiest excellence you'll get in integration. Makluba. I can't differentiate 3. No worries, Study Garden. You're welcome. Yeah, Pia Naga, I was thinking that maybe we'll do some we can do some geometrical reasoning. So trig and mix it up with some bearings, I reckon. That might be a good idea. What say you? What say you? What's it like living in New Zealand, man? I spent like how much time did I spend in Jordan? I think I was there for like maybe 2 weeks in Jordan. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The food was amazing. And I'm trying to think, geez, what was the city that Amman. I remember I was actually in Amman for when they broke fast during Ramadan. It was one of the most amazing sounds I've ever heard. Like, I was on a rooftop in our hotel, and basically the whole city just echoed with the calling. And man, it still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. PR Naga, there is a little video. Just look up this video on my channel called Bearings in 20 Minutes. You'll be done. You watch that in 20 minutes, you'll get bearings. It's one of the easiest things, mate. Andrew, no, I can't sponsor you, but pop down to the giveaways that we do on every last Thursday on YouTube. Chuck your name down, and if you're there and you are in the chat, you get to walk away with a t-shirt. Like, I helped you with stats. Crazy. Is there a cap? I have got a cap, but I've not finished it yet. Like, I made one just for myself. Dana, I've just done like 1.5 hours of streaming. I'm gonna go to bed, Ekansh. Ivana, I think we'll definitely do at least one tutorial every week, guaranteed for level 1s. There's always going to be a level 1 tutorial every week. It's just, I just need to figure out how I can balance it, because I'm just trying to get rid of the CAAs. And then what I might do is I might just keep like one day for level 1. So we keep it consistent. So every day is like, so you guys will get one particular day locked in. Now, Dom, I don't think you realize I am super grateful for the information that you gave me today, because you don't understand. I had this dish in 2012 and I have been hunting for it so many times to try and get the name of it. And what are the odds that I actually meet a person from Jordan on chat and they tell me what the food is? This is amazing. Oh, you're welcome, Ivana. But I still find it a bit strange on TikTok when people give me roses. It's just like... All right, YouTube, I'm going to switch off. I'm going to jump on TikTok for a few minutes before I head off to bed. But yeah, Dom, thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it. Form in a pizza is a triangle. Sorry, Kesson, what happened? Any tips for algebra and calculus level 2? Kesson, it's so hard when people ask me that question, Kesson, because you can't really tell in half an hour, I can't tell you in 5 minutes what you guys need to do for 25 hours on my playlist. All I can say is just practice those past paper exams, keep practicing those exams, go, try and do the question, like print out the questions and then do the questions by yourselves and then watch the videos and then chuck questions on ChatGPT. You can actually analyze your own kind of learning as well. So yeah, same with your Barite. No problems, Jasper. Yeah, Kesson, like if you do have Gemini or ChatGPT, like where you can actually upload pictures of questions, just do that and then start asking it, say, hey, look, I'll be even sneaky and do this. Like if you guys get your exam paper, what you could do is take your exam paper, put it to ChatGPT and say, hey, this is level 2 algebra from New Zealand. I analyze my paper and give me practice questions based on my mistakes, and it will do it. So you guys just got to use the resources slightly differently. And right now, especially with Gemini giving those prompts, you guys have like multiple email accounts, so just have like running it in different accounts. No, I'm not suggesting using ChatGPT for the external. I'm saying put the questions in ChatGPT to actually generate questions based on your weaknesses. Mission Heights Junior College. Yeah, I came in like 2019. It's been a while since I came back there, because I used to be at Ormiston Senior. So Kesson, I think that's something that you should definitely do. Even if you take like a practice exam, like download an exam, try and do it by yourself, and then get it to analyze it and say, hey, where's my mistakes, and find out how to fix it. Ekansh, I used to be at OSC for 7 years, and I've been at OJC for nearly 6 years now. So, yeah, I did teach at OSC, Andrew. I was pretty much one of the first head of department there in maths. Fortnite boy, I came last year. I'm due for a visit. You guys are so close by. Gasson, so you should do the other giveaways like caps or any other if you haven't already. I've got these. So I tinker with a lot of this is something that I'm working on, right? Well, no, it's already done. I've print these, have them ready to go. And then I've got like pins as well that, but I was going to get infinity plus one rulers next. Factorizing quadratic expression. Seagull, MCAT tutorials from my playlist in what do you call it? In YouTube, you'll find the playlist there for quadratic expressions. Hey, Casson, I've actually talked to Cassio and we were talking to Cassio about it, about making a special edition infinity plus one calculator. But it kind of sucks because it's like, you know, most people when you buy the calculator, you don't know who I am, but it's not till like later on you go, oh, I use this guy. So we've been kind of, I need to go pitch that idea again to them. Favorite dish, Casson, I gotta say, I don't know if Dominic is still there, but that dish, the makluba, has been in my thing for a long time. But there's also a dish from Colombia called ajiaco, which was just amazing. Used to love that. Do you have any info if we get their physical mock paper back? Galila, that's entirely your school's discretion, so I wouldn't be able to tell that. East Auckland schools, yeah, I mean, you guys are close by, so I can always just drop in real quickly during my non-contacts. But Galila, where are you from? Are you in Mount Roskill or are you at Eggs? Because I've got lots of people at Mount Roskill. Did I ever come to Onehunga? I'm trying to think. I thought I went to Otahu, not Onehunga. Or maybe it was Onehunga. Now I'm confused. Wait, which is the school next to King's College? Is it Onehunga or Otahuhu? Indy, I came to Tauranga last year and I had a meetup in Tauranga, which is really cool. Haven't done Howick yet. Neve, I'm guessing your name is Niamh, because I got a colleague who's called that, and she calls Neve. Is that correct in how I'm saying your name? Kesson, I've got like 4 school visits set up in so I did go to Onehunga last year. I thought it was Onehunga. Yeah, I was there last year, Onehunga. And then Kesson, I've taken I'm just taking a little, I think, because right now everybody's got mocks, it's a bit hard for me to go visiting, but I've got 4 schools lined up in the first 2 weeks of term 4. Done Greece. It's a good place. Love it. Hey, Seagull, like, I know this is the second person coming from Tauranga. Someone asked me earlier about Tauranga, and like Tauranga, I've got a lot of folks, especially at Tauranga Boys and Otumoi Tai. Yeah, a few favorites schools down there, and I think I really enjoyed my time in Tauranga last year. I came down in November and said a few hello to people there, and that was really cool. Yeah, we had a meetup in Tauranga in November last year, I think it was. Neve, no, I've not been to Ireland. Kesson, I can. I think it's Linfield, Glendowie, Epsom Girls Grammar, and Whangarei. Going to Whangarei, Pompelia. What do you mean thoughts on Rangi? It's I went there last year. It was a really cool school. Enjoyed it. Aditya, I think the last paper, I kind of slowed it down now because now everyone is getting ready for the mocks and things like that. So I've pretty much done with CAA. I've just got to edit that video and I'll upload it. But unless lots of people ask for it, because a lot of people are asking for probability level 3 at the moment, which I need to do. So I've got to get that out. Kassan, stay out of politics, man. Especially not on record. What are we at? Aditya is like all over the place. I can see you on here as well. Caleb, look, the managing time, the exam is an interesting one because I would say you got to read all the questions first before you even start doing them. Like read all the questions and then have a look at which ones you're confident in doing, and just go do that first. Because otherwise what happens is that if you start attempting the hard ones first, you start getting stressed as your time is, you're probably spending a bit more time. So your brain is actually creating cortisol there. And so you're getting stressed, and then you kind of forget to do the things that you know how to do. So I would actually say do all the questions that you know how to do first. That way you're feeling confident and you're like, cool, I got my, I got these questions correct. I can actually go on to the next one. So yeah, really important with that. How many countries have I been to? You're welcome, Neve. You're welcome. Yeah, Caleb, if you're confident in that, you can definitely do that as well. My only suggestion with that is that if you're doing an e-question and it's about 12 minutes in and you haven't finished it, I would suggest that you take a pause and go do the 2 merit questions. So at least that way, ideally you want to spend about 20 minutes on each question. So if you're, you've got 5 like those sub questions within that questions, then you want to spend about 12 minutes on that excellence. And if it goes over that, you probably, if you stuff it up, you're going to get 0 points or even 2 points maximum because it's unachieved. The strategy is go back and do the merit questions. That way you get the 2 M's, like you might get an M5 or an M6 as a backup, just in case you don't actually finish the excellence question. So that is kind of like my suggestion for you. Yes, hi. I'm going to write a paper on the holidays. So at the moment, all the resources are actually available on my YouTube channel. So just have a look through there. No, Kassan, I didn't. I was thinking about it. 30, I think it's like 36 or 37. I don't know. I lost count. I need to go back and, but I did do this. I'll show you this. This was actually one of my trips that I did. Where is it? So you asked me where have I been. This is one of the trips that I did in 2012. I did this. So it was literally took a 1 year off, and that's where I was spending my time in Jordan there. So that was a whole year. We sold everything and traveled for a year. That's crazy times. Yep, went to Iceland, saw the Northern Lights. That was insane. Caleb, again, it's entirely up to you, man. So how you go with it, it's up to you. What are we at? 100. Okay, cool. Hey team, look, I didn't realize the time's kind of caught up with me. I am going to leave you folks to it. I will catch up the level 1 guys in next week sometime. Tomorrow we do level 2 probability, and we go from there. Don't tell me you're in Australia, Kassan. You're welcome, Neve. Have a good one, and thank you for joining today. Mark, I didn't talk about algebraic fractions, but if you go to the algebra playlist, MCAT playlist, you will find algebraic fractions as a section, and I go through that, so good luck with it. Casson, no, I do go. I go. My sister and my mum's there, so I go every now and then. But yeah. But anyway, look, I gotta get to my schoolwork now. So catch you guys later. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. If there's any level 2s hanging around, I'll see you for level 2s tomorrow. All right. Take care, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And Dom, thank you so much for the recommendation for Makluba. I will look at the recipe. See you, team.